Good morning, everybody. It's day 70, April the 26th. I'm still at the Brien Memorial Shelter, mile 1393 point something. Still raining outside, flooded all night. Glad I was inside the shelter. I was going to set my tent up as I told y'all. Decided not to, end up being the only one here. Slept incredible. Yeah, it was a good night, other than just pouring rain. Got some coffee making right now. I'm gonna eat some breakfast. I can start starting to get a little bit daylight outside, and then we're gonna start heading towards Fort Montgomery. Alright, I'll catch up with y'all later. Alright, y'all. Early riser, day 70, April 26th. Hump day. Hump day. 6:33 in the morning. I'm going for it. We're gonna head into town. It's just gonna rain for a little while longer. Got on the sporty rain kilt. You gotta let go of the ego to wear this rain kilt around, but I tell you, it is a great piece of kit. Just so flexible. The only thing I found out about it yesterday, if you're having to do some rock scrambles and you've got this thing at full length, it definitely limits your ability to get a full leg. What am I trying to say? Like, as I'm hopping over rocks, I don't get a full stride. So I forget about it every now and then, and I'll hop, and the freaking kilt will catch my leg, and I almost miss the rock. I almost don't make it all the way over, so that was scary a couple of times. The best thing about New York is, as soon as you leave something like a shelter, this is what stares at you. This is where we're going. Frickin' New York. That's been alright. Alright, here we go. 9 miles. Alright, I wanted to pass on a New York AT intel report. It's funny, my bro Gary Young. Oh, Gary, you must have got busy, man. And it's probably good that you didn't get me the intel in time of what I was about to face, because I would have been dreading it, so I might as well hit it without knowing. But he said it. He's like, yeah, I didn't get it to you in time. By the time I comment, you're already going to have been through it. That walk from Wildcat Shelter, like I said yesterday, the first about 8 miles, brutal, but fun too. It would have been funner if it wasn't wet and raining. So all of you coming up behind that are watching this video, you get through Pennsylvania, and you're like, yes, and that's a big accomplishment, I'm telling you, because you have overcome what is arguably one of the most difficult portions of the trail, mentally, I think. But here's what I've noticed about the trail, and this is pretty cool. Like, each section preps you for the next section. And that's not surprising, because it's probably just a natural flow of these mountains and how they've evolved, how they've eroded. Supposedly these were as grand as the Rockies at one point. They're just older. And so as you transverse through these different regions, like Pennsylvania's cool because of the rocks. Virginia kind of preps you for the rocks. In fact, it just pissed me off, y'all know that, so I didn't know there were rocks. Then you get to Pennsylvania and you walk on rocks so much. Like, look, these rocks aren't as bad as Pennsylvania, but I don't even care about them. I don't even notice them, to be honest with you. Now you're conditioned, so that's good. So now you move into New Jersey. Rocks are still bad. Like, there's a couple places. One day in New Jersey was by far the worst rocks of the whole trail. But I didn't mind them because I was conditioned already. But New Jersey starts throwing a little bit of elevation back at you again. You're not going to go up high. You're not going above 2,000, maybe hardly even above 1,000. But your lows are very low. So when you're climbing from 200 feet back up to 1,000 or 1,200 feet, that's a big climb. So it's starting to get you prepped again for the future. Then you get to New York. And New York is rocky as hell as well. But now you're starting to do some boulder climbs. Like this frickin' mountain I'm about to climb right now.
soon as I see something for the first time, I just want to punch somebody in the face. But then it ain't never as bad. Yeah, so New York preps you, is just starting to slowly prepare you for what's coming up further north. So it's pretty cool how it evolves. Except for New York's kind of like Virginia, in my opinion. They don't route over rocks because they have to. They route over rocks because they think it's the best thing to do. And I question it, man. I think part of the day would be good, and then give people a break for the other part. Again, I think it goes back to the ATC needs to dictate some ratings on difficulty, and then make sure one piece of the trail doesn't exceed a certain rating for over a certain period of time. Like any more than 4 hours at an 8 difficulty rating is probably not going to be healthy. Anyway, just ideas. Ain't no big deal. We're going to climb these rocks right now. Hey, just wanted to give a shout out to Red Mage. I just watched his, I think, day 79 video where he went to Skyland Resort. It's cool to see the place again. Really good time there, and brings back good memories of the week I got to spend with just me and my wife. So happy to see him doing so much better. I don't know, Red Mage, if you got to see the video of my bad day mentally, but yeah, it happens to all of us. And I'm not sure that's going to be the last one, but every time we have one, man, now we just have more tools to counter it. And I've got about 5,000 tools. That sounds bad. That sounds like I'm being degrading. I have about 5,000 mental focusing tools that send comments my way on this channel and help get me through it, along with my wonderful wife, who is always the first phone call and always there with some not just encouraging words, but some understanding words. Because now she's been here twice, she really grasps what's going on out here. It makes this whole thing easier. So anyway, Red Mage, man, you're only about 100 miles short of that halfway point, bro. And crossing over that 1,000-mile mark is a huge accomplishment. So keep turning them pages, man. Proud of you. I started watching you on video 1 when I was still laying in my bed back home, getting ready, nervous. Saw you. Hold on, rock hopping. Hopefully I won't drop this phone. Yeah, watching you start your through hike was motivating, man. So good luck, buddy. Can't wait to see you cross that halfway point. Cross over the Palisade. Good Lord, interstate. You talking about Frogger. Maybe not the right place to be at 7:30 on a work day. Holy Jesus. All right, we're gonna get our sprint legs on. Good thing I warmed up. All right, I lived coming across the Palisade. Good God, Matrix at its finest. If I wasn't going to town today, there's like a wayside station, 0.4 down the road, that's got sodas and concessions. I'm sorry, yeah, vending machines. If I wasn't going to town, or the rider would have put an extra mile in today to go get him some Coca-Cola. Yeah, feeling good today. Got a lot of sleep yesterday. I went to bed about, I don't know, 6. You know, I got up at 1, so I guess that's about right. But I didn't get out of bed this morning until almost 5. It was just pouring rain. Said to hell with it. Yeah, I guess I just feel like being chatty Cathy today. Don't really have a lot to say. Gonna be 70 tomorrow. Then 80 the next day, which I don't like. Whatever, we'll get through it. We'll just be a stinky, sweaty, sticky mess. Out. Answer some questions. So, somebody asked me about bladders. Why do you use smart water bottles and not bladders? I'll throw that back out there for everybody else to answer. That's called a reflex question, a rebound question. But here's my take. Smart water bottles, like, here's the problem with the bladder. Depending on what rucksack you got, sometimes that bladder's sitting right up on your back. That could be good in the winter, keeps your water from freezing. That could be terrible in the summer. Your back heats that bladder up, and every time you take a sip, you're taking a sip of just hot water. It's gross. Problem 2, if you start in the winter or hit any freezing temps, your tube's gonna freeze unless you take extra precautions. Problem 3, why I don't like them. And I use these things sometimes at work, don't get me wrong. Problem 3, why I wouldn't have them out here. Every time you want to refill that thing, that's a stop. Take your ruck off, pull out the bladder, blah, blah, blah. If you're only trying to cover 10 to 12 miles a day and you're moving slow, that could be acceptable. For people who are trying to maximize the use of their movement every day, my smart water bottles and Aqua Mirror now, I just stop, dip the water out of the stream, put in 7 or 8 drops, screw the sports cap back on, 15 minutes I have water. Don't have to take the pack off, don't have to do nothing but keep walking while the Aqua Mirror starts doing its job. So yes, can you take your Camelback? Of course. Would I do it? No. Again, if you're starting late spring, freezing probably won't be a problem. If you're starting any time where it's gonna be freezing, there's no way I would have that Camelback. That's just me. Looking for other comments, other opinions. I see people with them out here and I think they're using them successfully. Just not my cup of tea. Oh, sorry, one more thing before I climb these steps. Camelback, they're asking about the inline filter. Again, inline filters are good, but you gotta have another one. How are you getting water into your cooking pot at night if you're cooking? It's just painful. How are you getting that water from your bladder to anything else? So you're gonna have to carry another filter, which might be okay. They're not heavy, so just something to think about. Walking through the zoo at Bear Mountain State Park, where the bear cage is the lowest point on the AT. That's pretty cool. Hard to believe, been up to well over 6,000 feet and now down to 100 feet. This is lower than where I live. That's crazy. Alright, y'all. It's pouring rain, so phone ain't coming out much. Alright, y'all. Walking down the street here at Fort Montgomery. This is actually called something else, man. I don't know what the name of it is. See if I can get across without getting run over. But I'm staying at the Bear Mountain Bridge Motel. You can see right there. I'm terrible at filming in town. I've already been here for about 7 hours and haven't filmed one thing yet. But the room's okay. The people running the place are very nice. He came and picked me up at the bridge after I walked to the zoo. It was pouring rain. I'm staying in number 4. Hold on, let me get my keys out. Apologize. Very modest accommodations. Yeah, there's no refrigerator, there's no, I mean, this is like a hostel, y'all. In fact, I've stayed at better hostels. I'm paying $75 a night for this, but it's good enough. This is New York prices, you just gotta realize it. You can see I got some stuff, just making sure it's all dry. None of my stuff really got wet last night, but it just gets damp. Anybody who stayed in a shelter or in a tent when it's humid outside knows. Got my umbrella drying. So this is the bathroom. It's tiny. Shower. But again, I don't mind, man. It's just like an expensive hostel. Whatever. Got a TV. It's got a lot of channels. Already packed my food bag out. This is all the little stuff I got left that I'll eat tomorrow morning. And that's about it. We'll wrap up here in a minute. Alright, y'all. Belly's full. Just had a cheeseburger and french fries and some baked beans from the barbecue joint across the street here. There's a mobile gas station right across the street here too from the the Bear Mountain Bridge motel, whatever this place is called. For resupply options, I called a cab today and paid $10 to get into the town right in front of the base here. And it's good. Downtown's good. They got a laundromat, so for less than $5, got all my clothes clean. And they actually have a drop-off and pick-up too, but that doesn't work out well if you're taking a cab unless you have enough stuff to do around town. A lot of good restaurants down there. I stopped at a newer pizza joint down there from a guy from New York and had 2 slices and an arugula salad, which was delicious. Stopped in Dunkin' Donuts, of course, which is right next door, and got a cup of coffee and 2 donuts, which were white coconut, which has been very rare since I left Georgia, and Bavarian cream. Came back here, $10 more for the oh, no, I'm sorry, I went to the only major grocery store they have, and it's not a big one, but it was good enough for resupply, not too outrageously priced. Can't find canister gas anywhere here, so we are going stoveless at this point. However, I have a little gas left in that one, so that's probably good coffee, so I'm going to carry the weight penalty and have me some coffee. And then when I'm done with the canister, I will find the first garbage can and chuck it. And then I will keep my titanium cup and the stove with me. And then get another canister later on, if I so desire. That shifted me from eating chicken and ramen at night to bagels with peanut butter and honey. And things like Fritos or something to go with it. And then probably some kind of protein bar for dessert. But that should be fine. It's going to be a little bit warmer this week, like lows only in the high 50s, so having something hot won't be that satisfying as it is when it's in the 40s, like it has been. Ordered some of that Maxim coffee today on Amazon, so that should be coming in my next resupply box. Today's hike in, the 9.5, was mostly in the rain. And I'm telling you, the umbrella has been awesome. So it rained on me for a little while. I was wearing my jacket at first because it was cool this morning. But man, once you start doing any kind of rocks like I had to do, man, you just start sweating. It's just not a good option. Neither is an umbrella if you're climbing over rocks. It just needs your hands, I get it. But I tell you, when I got done climbing the rocks and I was on the downhill, and then I was walking, you'll walk down close to the Bear Mountain Inn, or the Bear Mountain Lodge. Then you'll walk by this lake, down into the zoo, and it started raining pretty hard. And there were some soda machines and some vending machines, so of course I stopped and got me a Coke, and some Doritos, some other stuff to eat while I was walking, observing these animals. And I had my umbrella out because it was raining, not windy, just raining. And man, it makes such a huge difference. I was sitting there walking in a short sleeve shirt because it's not cold, and I was totally dry, good to go, man. So think about an umbrella. Again, I got a $5 umbrella at Walmart. If the wind blows it and tears it up, I don't care. I just know not to pull it out in the wind. Another piece of kit that I got, that my wife brought me when she came, is an Anchor 2-port USB charger that plugs into the wall. It provides either 2.1 or 2.4 watts, whatever, amps per port. We've talked about this before, but this is the first time I've got to see how fast that charges things. So I've got my older 13,000 milliamp battery here and my new 21,000 milliamp battery. They're both Anchors. I plugged both of them in when I got here. 3 hours later, they're both fully charged, and the 13,000 was fully expended. I used all of it. In the past, if I was charging those two things, I'd be lucky if they were charged by the middle of the night or before I left the next morning. So Shows you how big of a difference having a quality USB charger that plugs into the wall is. It's going to be a little bit of a weight penalty because of the stuff they have to put inside of them, probably fuses and some other things, but it's worth it. Alright y'all, well, I'm going to go ahead and make this video and watch some videos. Probably watch some of Not By Sights tonight. I watched some of Big Bird's today. I got to watch a couple more Red Mages, I think. Because I'm not just a thru hiker. I'm more of a thru hiker fan, so I like watching those videos more so than making my own, to be honest with you. Even though I enjoy this, man, I've been watching videos now for 2 years, so man, I always try to keep up. I just enjoy watching how people deal with the challenges out here. Alright, that was long enough. That's about it. What's the plan for tomorrow? I don't know. We'll cover it in the morning when I figure it out. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a dude who plans too far out anymore. That's one thing I wanted to prevent when I came here, because that's one of my bad habits at home. It's not a bad habit, but it's one of the things that I get carried away with. Here, I'm totally the opposite. Most days, I'm lucky. A, I'm lucky if I know where I'm going to try to go, and B, I don't care what's in between me and it before I leave normally. Like, I'll look at the elevation profile a little bit. But people come by me and say, like the other day, hey, are you going by Sunrise Mountain? I was like, is it in between me and Katahdin? Because if it is, then I probably am. But if you're asking me, do I know where it is? I'm like, hell no, I never even heard of it. And it was like a mile away. So I'm not one of the map geeks who has to know what hill they're on, and I really just don't care, man. I'll care when I get there. But I don't care to know before I get there for a lot of this, so that's just me. A lot of people are different. Do it your own way. Alright, whatever started me down that rabbit trail, I don't even remember, so I'm getting out. I'm going to go brush my teeth, take some pills, watch some video, and get some good sleep. And get at this thing tomorrow, heading north. Be in Connecticut in about 40 miles. Then to Massachusetts. Then into the last 2 states, y'all. We're getting there. TCCB, I love you guys. Hope y'all are having a good night tonight. And I will catch up with all of you later. Thanks for the comments. I tried to answer most of them today. Deuces.